Hello everybody, my name is Melissa Faust. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Minnesota, which is in the United States, and today I'd like to welcome you to a Create and Color Challenge. This color challenge is going to be so fun. I'm going to feature some new products coming up in the new mini catalog and celebration brochure, both of which start 1 week from today if you're catching this on the day it's released. So I'm so excited and I can't wait, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, please excuse the slightly messy grid paper here, but last week on my blog I shared this card, and this is actually a remake of a card that I got this year for my birthday, and I loved it so much. I loved this layout a lot, so I made this card. Now this is not the card we're making today, but I wanted to show you. I was actually inspired by this layout to make our card today, which is this beautiful one. So I'm going to show you how to make this, but you notice here that our colors this week for our color challenge are Rich Razzleberry, Fresh Freesia, and Pear Pizzazz. So a nice and lovely spring color scheme, okay? So I'm just going to show you real quick. So this is the new mini catalog that starts next week. If you have shopped with me in 2021, your copy should have been delivered already. If it hasn't been, please let me know. And if you're not already working with a demonstrator and you'd like a copy, please also let me know because I am happy to send them out. I send them out for free, so just let me know, okay? And you can just email me. My email is down in the description box below. But out of this catalog, you can see this beautiful card right on the front. I'm not allowed to open the catalog yet to show you what's inside, but we're going to use this stamp set right here, Flowering Tulips, and this is actually part of this suite right here on the cover. So this is gorgeous. We're going to use lots of these floral images, the tulips today. We're also going to be using a stamp set out of the Celebration brochure. Celebration also starts next week. If you're not familiar with Celebration, it's where you get to earn free product for placing qualifying orders. And if you have questions about that, please let me know. The set we're going to use from the Celebration brochure is this beautiful one called Special Moments. This is free with a $100 order between January 4th and February 28th. You can choose it as one of your options. So if you don't really like this this set here, which I don't know why you wouldn't, but if you don't really love it, that's okay. You can choose something else to get instead. So we're going to use our With Sympathy here, which as you saw on my sample, we are I'm sadly in need of a sympathy card. They're never super fun to make, but I think this one turned out beautiful, so I'm going to show you how to create it today. Now for the inside of the card, you can see here I've got this sentiment that says, "May precious memories bring peace and comfort." This is actually from our Many Happenings stamp set. This is from the annual catalog, and I actually have 2 copies of this because this is actually one large stamp, but I have 2. And this second one I cut apart, so I was able to pull that sentiment directly and not have to stamp the rest of them. So if you've never done stamp surgery before, it can be a little intimidating, but I promise it's worth it. And you know what? If you're too nervous to cut it up, just buy a second one and cut that one up. Okay, so I know that this is already a little bit of a messy piece of grid paper, but I'm going to bring in an even messier piece because I don't know, it just, I'm just a little weird like that. Okay, so for today's card, we're going to use a basic white card base. We've also got a piece of basic white for the inside. We've got our Rich Razzleberry layer, our 2 Rich Razzleberry layers here, a basic white layer, our sentiment, which I already went ahead and heat embossed, and then we're using this beautiful Flowering Fields DSP. This is obviously from the new mini catalog. I'm going to start adhering this together while I just let you know that this DSP is part of my paper share, or I should say my product share, because I am doing embellishments and ribbon as well, which is really exciting. I have not done embellishments or ribbon in a share before, but I'm so excited to be doing it this time. Hold on one second. I totally just forgot that I forgot to show you. We're also using some Fresh Freesia ribbon, but it had fallen on the floor, so I had to find it quick. But this is a super fun product share. If you'd like a sampling of the items in the new mini catalog without having to pay full price for full packs, this is a great way to do it because you get your hands on the products, you get to see what you like, and then you can, you know, order more of what you like, but the things you don't like, you know, we've got like a sports set in there. I know sports are not everybody's cup of tea, so if you just want a little bit of the sports paper, this is a great way to get it. So all of the information is in my newsletter. If you're not subscribed to that, you'll want to make sure you do that, and you can do that at newsletter.stampwithmelissa.com. you can also send me an email and I can send you all the info, all that good stuff. Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and do some stamping. So I've got my fresh freesia here. Then I'm going to pull in these two stamps, and they look very similar, but this one is a little bit more detailed. So I'm going to set that one to the side for now, and this is the more filled in one. I'm going to ink that up in my fresh freesia, and then I'm going to stamp it off once, and then stamp it right there. All right. Then I'm going to take in that outline one. This is the other one. And we're going to go ahead and line this up, and I just need to scoot it down so I can make sure I'm getting it all lined up like that, and you can see it gives a beautiful effect there. Okay, so then we've got this cute one, and this one I'm going to stamp full strength right down here. And then we'll take this guy, which kind of looks like a heart to me. We're going to ink this one up, stamp him off, and then he lines up right there in those bigger two leaf petals. Oh my gosh, they're called petals. I couldn't think of it for a second. Actually, while we have fresh freesia open, let's stamp the inside. So here's what the inside's going to look like. We're going to use that same bigger tulip for that. So, and then I'm going to actually scoot this out of the way so that I have a little bit more space. Okay. So I'm going to bring back in our filler piece. We're going to stamp that off, and then I'm going to stamp it down in the corner here. Bring back in our outline piece, stamp it at full strength. There we go. You can see I was a little bit off, but the nice thing about these is that you can't really tell, so we're going with it. All right, then we're gonna go ahead and do our Pear Pizzazz stamping. So I'm opening that ink pad. I've got the stem here. We're going to do the inside first since I have it right here. We'll just go ahead and do that stem, and then what we're going to do is this. The leaves are very similar on this as well. So we've got this one that's more of an like a filler stamp. So I'm going to stamp it off once, stamp it there. We're going to ink it up again, stamp it off, flip it around, and stamp it right there. So we've got both sides there. Then we'll take this outline one and we will stamp it in full strength and do that. I'm going to stamp it again just because some of it went off here, so I don't want it to give me a weird color. And we'll stamp that right there. Look at how beautiful that is. So I'm going to set this to the side because we still have to do our sentiment, but now we're going to do the front of our card. So I'm going to ink up the stem again and stamp that down for both of these flowers. This set truly is very, very beautiful. Then we'll take our leaf, stamp it off, and stamp it down, and stamp it off, and stamp it down. All right. And actually, that's funny. My dad always says, are you stamping it down today? I've never told the internet about that. I told him someday I would tell everyone about how he always calls it stamping down. But that's our little joke. I'll always say, I'm going to stamp down, you know, which is kind of fun. All right. So we've got that piece. Now let's go ahead and just stamp the inside real quick so we can be all done with our stamping. So I'm going to take my Rich Razzleberry, and then you can see here's the stamp that I cut out of a larger stamp. And I think this is just a really, really nice sentiment. I've unfortunately had to make a few sympathy cards over the last about month and a half, and I think I've used this sentiment on the inside for all of them. I have others, but there's nothing as nice as this one. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll adhere these pieces together, these layers, just like this. All right, and then, oh, I got a little bit of green there, but that's okay. All right, so we've got that adhered. I'm going to flip it over and actually bring in my seal now and just put a little bit of adhesive on the bottom of each side. Whoops, doesn't want to run. There we go. And we're going to use that to hold down our ribbon. So I'm going to take this little fresh freesia piece. By the way, all of the measurements can be found on my blog, and the link to that is in the description box below. But we're going to take that fresh freesia piece and we've wrapped it around. Then I'm going to grab my dimensionals and we're going to go ahead and add some dimensionals to the back here. Now you can tell that I used the rest of my sheet here. So if you ever run out of dimensionals, don't forget that you can cut up the sides. All right, and we're actually going to sneak these two in because there's only two left. So we're gonna sneak them in. I probably didn't need them, but you know what? It's totally fine, right? And then it's so satisfying because I get to start a brand new sheet. So, all right, let's pull all those backings off, and we'll grab this guy and stick him down in the center here. I absolutely love this layout, and I can't remember who originally sent me that card, but I just love it. All right, I'm putting lots of seal on the back of our sentiment because I want it to stick on that ribbon, but also on the paper. So we're gonna go ahead and just line that up like that. Isn't that gorgeous? Actually, we can get rid of this guy just to make it a little bit nicer looking. And then we'll add some glue to the back of our inside layer. Whoops. My glue is almost gone, but I'm trying to use it up so I can switch back to seal because seal is my favorite of all time. All right, so we're gonna get that layer tacked down to the inside, and then we're going to use these beautiful brushed brass butterflies. Try to say that 5 times fast. These are gorgeous. They lay flat. I don't know how well you can see that, but they lay flat, so they are great for mailing because you don't have to worry about them. And you know what? I've got all these tiny little smudges on my card, and we're going to use them to cover them up because that's a great way to kind of hide those. But these brushed brass butterflies are also in my product share. So if you are signed up, you can choose to sign up for just the embellishments, just the ribbon, just the paper, or you can do whichever 2 you want, or you can sign up for all 3. But you're going to actually get a half pack of all those brushed brass butterflies, which is quite a lot actually. So make sure you email me if you're interested in that. But there is our completed card. I'll bring in the sample again here. Super gorgeous. Obviously there are pictures of these on my blog with the measurements, and then the products used are linked below the video and also in my blog. Now the new things, so this Flowering Fields and the Special Moments stamp set that I used, they are not going to be linked on those lists because they're not available until January 4th. So just make sure you make a note of them in your catalog that you like them if you do, and you can order them beginning on the 4th, unless you're a demonstrator, and you can order now, of course. All right, well, thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this card. As sad as it is always to create sympathy cards, we do need them, so one of these is going to be directly sent out to somebody who I designed this card with them in mind, and then the other one I'm just going to save for, you know, a rainy day when I need another one, unfortunately. But yeah, all right. So if you like this card, please make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye for now.